I was so close that time. I broke my 2-week winning streak of not being muted when I start. Hi, everybody. Thank you all for joining me for another episode of WIP Wednesday Live. Tonight is going to be a fun one. See, we've got our regulars already in here. Anonymous Dude says, let's get it. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for being here. Marcus Yee saying hello. Thank you for being here, Marcus. And Quebec Diorama saying hello as well. Thanks, guys. What up? What up? What up? Man, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have been looking forward to this episode because kit bashing is the name of the game tonight. And it happens to be my favorite part of customizing. Whenever I am working on a new project, I'm going to see if I can get this light to work here really quick. Oh, I see that it's not working. Never mind. You win some and you lose some. Yes, where was I going? Yes, kit bashing. Whenever I watch new toy shows or like see new reveals and stuff like that, the first thing I start looking at is where can I use these new parts that we're seeing? And that's really the very beginning point of the kit bashing process for me is I see it and I start building based off of new parts that I'm seeing or where could we reuse those somewhere down the line. So tonight I have 8 upcoming projects I'm going to be working on. I'm currently working on 3 projects. One is not a secret. One is an Age of Apocalypse Havoc, which I started a couple weeks ago. One is a Secret Santa project that has to remain a secret until it is completed and sent to its new home, which has been a challenge. And one is for one of my buddies, Andrew, who is a local friend. He made that really sick Delsum figure. If anybody follows me on Instagram, I posted a custom Delsum from Street Fighter, which my buddy Andrew made. So I'm making a figure for him now, and I can't share it because we're keeping it secret from each other. So, oh, look at who's here. Let's see what up. Who else is here? Nike Boy's here. Hey, man, what up? Thanks for stopping by. And Eric Alfred Abel, what up? Hey, thank you. Thanks for coming by on Anonymous Dude's recommendation. And thank you, Anonymous Dude, for being so generous and kind and saying such nice things in the Toy Amigos chat and Ernie's chat earlier. Good man. Welcome, Dan Who crew. Yeah, so thank you guys all for being here. I'm really excited. Just before we get started, the usual YouTube shit. If you haven't already, it would be appreciated if you hit that like button. It really, really helps. Thank you, Eric Alfred Abel, for subscribing. I noticed earlier today you did. After, again, Anonymous Dude mentioned it. So thank you both. So all that YouTube stuff. Check me out on Instagram, obviously. And I have recently set up on VERO as well, where I'm not going to lie, I'm not super active. Doesn't seem like there's a lot happening over there at the moment. So last week's WIP Wednesday Live was with my buddy Rob, aka Pim Particles, a fellow customizer. Really good dude. We had a really great chat. And just nice to finally get to do it's not face-to-face, but like actually talk to each other rather than just chat with each other. And it was a really good conversation last week. So if you haven't already, check that one out. It was a little shorter than our usuals, but yeah, it was really fun. We had a good time. And then last week on Moose Milk Media podcast with my buddy Ryan, we talked about She-Hulk, but we also started talking about another show, which is not what generally doesn't fall into the realm of the nerdy conversations that we have, which was Handmaid's Tale. If anybody is not familiar with it, it is a post-apocalypse. It's kind of like a glimpse into the United States in 10 years maybe. It's pretty scary stuff. But yeah, we chatted about the first 2 episodes of season 5, 4, 5, whatever season we're currently on. I can't remember. I think it's 5. And yeah, it was really good. It was nice to chat with him about something a little bit different and all our usual shenanigans. So if you haven't checked out my Saturday Night Pod with Moose Milk Media, please go ahead and do that as well. Show him some love on Instagram. He's on YouTube, I think, but we don't really focus on YouTube too much. So what else? Kit bashing. Let's fucking get into it. Nike Boy says, glad to finally be able to join the live. It's been a while. Yeah, man, it has been a while. And you're picking a good night, too. And Anonymous Dude said, Customs had pin particles in my head all week. His colors are awesome. Yeah, man, he's crazy good. He's so talented. He kind of filled me in on what he's making for Secret Santa, and I had a fucking good little chuckle. It should be a pretty funny one once he gets it done. So, okay, guys, so I'm going to turn this baby on. This is what we're going to be working on kit bashing tonight. So, just so you guys know, there is not going to be really any real customizing per se here. I'm not going to be sculpting tonight. I'm not going to be gluing anything or painting anything. This is going to really just be a bunch of kit bashing. And the fun part about this is anybody who is interested in this sort of thing, you're able to do this with me, because the majority of the stuff we're going to be doing tonight is reversible, meaning if you took something apart, you could just put it back together. Obviously, there's always some risk of damaging, the figure while doing so. So, do so at your own risk. But anybody who wants to jump in on this, that was kind of the point. What you're really going to need to do that is, look at me being so unprepared. What you're going to need to do that is a nail set. Let me just zoom in on me here again. A nail set. Well, it doesn't have to be a nail set. It can be something that is sturdy and strong and about that size at the end that we can push pins out of elbows and knees. You're going to need a source of hot water. So my preferred source is a steam bath, using like a pot of water with a strainer over top so the figure doesn't actually touch the water. Tonight I'm going to be doing a little differently because my setup in my office is not really equipped for that sort of thing. I have a kettle over here. I have a mug. Troy and Abed in the morning. And we're going to put hot water in. We're going to put the figure parts in there, and we're going to just break them apart that way. And that's really it. Probably doesn't hurt to have a towel close by. But yeah, you guys are going to get to see my newly set up workstation. So I kind of went through all of my fodder being body parts, figure parts, and kind of sorted everything out after I finished doing all my displays. So yeah, you guys will get to see that as well today. So, but yeah, I'll just pull this back up again here. Marcus Yee said, I wish my supplies came in today. Ordered a bunch of stuff to make a custom for my friend as a birthday gift. Oh, that's too bad. What are you making? Curious. I always love to know what you're up to. Quebec Diorama, oh, Deadpool, nice. Yeah, so I'm kind of just looking, again, I'm looking for a few easy wins. And one of the things I recently received as a gift from my buddy Gary, aka Peggy Dad on Instagram, he sent me the silencer that comes with the white Black Widow. And I wanted to do like a James Bond style Deadpool for my Deadpool shelf. So something easy. I don't have to do much work to it, So that's what I'm going to do with that. So, whoa, 1-6 shooter. A little late for me, but I'll catch the replay if I crash. Hey, man, thank you for joining. That's really cool. Nice to see you in here. Marcus Yee says Warbird. Yeah. So here, we'll make this the more prominent piece here. So yeah, so I'm going to be working on from the top. I'm going to be doing some Generation X teams. Anybody who has been following along my buddy Morning Wolf, he's been slowly cranking them out and kicking ass. It's really inspiring me to want to work on mine. Chamber is the one who I'm most excited to work on. So tonight I'm going to be putting together pieces for all of these base figures, basically, with all of my parts. So Chamber, Skin, and Jubilee from Generation X are going to be my 3 starting points for Gen X. I want to do a Bond-style Deadpool, most likely a movie version, just because I have an extra movie Deadpool head. Warbird is a commission for a returning customer, which I'm pretty excited about. And then Age of Apocalypse Gambit and Age of Apocalypse Quicksilver are both kind of big holes in my collection, and I'd like to get those filled ASAP. Cyclops is only on there because I want to try to swap out some parts on the existing Cyclops, and I'm just trying to gather some pieces for it. So that's why he's there. But yeah. Nike Boy says, I watched The Boys not too long ago and already bought the Manex Homelander. How do you like it? I've heard it's really, really good. He looks great. So, anonymous dude, Eric Alfred Abel, Matchu's a great conversationalist. Let's pick his brain on comics, pop culture as he works. Oh, please do. You always do, anonymous dude. It's great. You guys are always, man, the people that are in here are always awesome. Marcus E, I wanted to make a figure of a K-pop star that she loves. Currently working on one of the accessories, a light stick. Worried about how to sculpt the hair and how to paint the face tattoos. Yeah, faces are always tricky, and hair is not my strong suit, but there are good people for that. Morning Wolf has a really good way of doing hair. So yeah, so let's just turn this other camera on. And I'm going to really just solo on that for now because, it makes a little sense. So you're going to hear my kettle boiling in the background here, guys. My apologies. I'll try to keep my eye on the what's it called? Chat so that I don't miss anything. Hang on 1 second. I'm just going to change my. There we go. Okay, here, I'm going to do this. Let's add this guy to the stream. And let's solo this. Sorry, you can ignore my shirt on the ground here. So this is my, this is where I keep all my parts. As you can see, I got my kettle cooking up there. And yeah, so you're going to see a lot here, guys. So this is kind of like all my current projects that are like bagged up and ready to go. And then this is like extra capes and jackets and that sort of stuff. So yeah, these are all like existing projects in some, nothing's actually been started. It's all just been kit bashed together. So we're going to probably get into that drawer in a little bit. This is like my full base bodies and like figures that are basically new out of package that I just buy for fodder in case I need it. And then if I ultimately don't use it, I just sell them somewhere down the line. But it's easier to get figures that look like they may have good parts when they're available rather than trying to dig them out later. So yeah, so again, we will definitely be visiting that as well. And then this is the big kind of drawers. So yeah, so we've got like male humanoid heads, and mast heads, and female heads, and oversized monster heads, and arms, and legs, and feet, and weapons, and boots, and just random pegs and shit. As you can see, there's a lot to dig through. Lots of weapons, lots of belts, and little accessories like holsters and wrist bracers and stuff. Torsos, lots of torsos. My wife always makes jokes about my weird collection bags of body parts, which I guess without context, I understand. So yeah, so that is, let's flip this guy back over here. Oops. Sorry, guys. There we go. I'm gonna have to remove this one for a second. There we go. All right, let me see what we got. Nike Boy says it's a great figure, very fun to pose. The wear cape is awesome too. I seen they're doing more figures, so I will be going broke buying them all. That's dope, man. I almost bit the bullet on those, mostly because I was like, it's Mayfex. I'll only get like 2 a year at the very most, so who cares? But I ultimately just don't have the space for it. And it would be a bummer to fudge those into somewhere where they could ultimately deserve their own space. Anonymous dude says, dang, respect the organization. It's like a morgue, but fun. That's great. Nike Boy said, I also just finished Breaking Bad. I hope some company will make a figure line. Yeah, so Ryan from Moose Milk, he is trying to get me to watch Breaking Bad currently because I've seen like an episode and I just didn't really connect, and that's where it ended. So yeah, I need to. I'm going to. It's on my list. Hopefully I can convince my wife to watch it too. So Anonymous Dude, did you get a chance to see Andor? Yeah, I watched episode 1 and started 2 and fell asleep. That doesn't mean that it was bad. I fall asleep during anything, so that's not the way you should take it. I really liked episode 1. Definitely a different feel for a Star Wars thing, but I liked it a lot. That was good. I'm excited to watch. I'm going to watch right after this tonight. I'm going to watch episode 2 and 3, and then I'll watch She-Hulk. So yeah, I really liked it. If we're talking Andor or She-Hulk in here, guys, please keep it spoiler light. We want to make sure everyone gets a chance to enjoy them. But yeah, I definitely liked the darker kind of tones that we were getting off Andor, which was really cool. So, okay, so I'm going to start by, I'm going to add this guy in. Can I add this guy in without adding everyone in? I don't think I can. No, we're not. Okay, we're going to start working on this guy. AOA Quicksilver. So I have some ideas already. I haven't pieced anything together yet, but I do have some ideas. So for my starting point on AOA Quicksilver, I'm going to use... Where is my morph figure? I'm going to use an AOA morph for the base body for Quicksilver. What the fuck is it? Did I put it somewhere? I'm going to take this out because I am going to ultimately use that. I also want to take this out. And I'm just trying to see if... Do I still have morph bagged up somewhere? Maybe I do. I'm going to just pull some of these figures out and throw them on the ground here. I really want to find a use for Vulcan. Oh, yeah, I'm going to use that too. I'd really like to find a use for him. Did I bag Quicksilver up already? Maybe I put him aside thinking I was going to use him. Or am I just crazy and think that I have something that I don't? This is what I have bagged up for Warbird so far. And Skin. Oh. Interesting. I can't remember where I put my morph figure. Sorry to have to listen to me just rifling through stuff. Oh, no, that's not it. Well, I am confused because I thought I had an Age of Apocalypse morph figure kicking around. But it appears I may be incorrect, which is slightly disappointing. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to use this too. Okay, let's start somewhere else then, because that's annoying. I'm going to have to probably buy a morph. The idea of using morph was his base body is blue. I'm kind of looking for a couple lowball, easy customs, as I have done in the past. Okay, let's start somewhere different. This is another one that I'm pretty excited about doing. So Age of Apocalypse Gambit, I do have some ideas. This one I'm not necessarily as concerned about it being an easy custom, only because there's going to be a decent level of sculpting that's involved. I'm just going to do this because I would rather you guys be able to see. No. Can I change? Is it this one? No, I can't. Okay, so this is what I want to use for Gambit. I'll keep this bag because I like to keep them all bagged up. So, for Gambit, I'm going to have to sculpt the legs anyway, the lower legs. There's no real boots outside of Richter's that would really fit this, and they'd be really oversized because that's on a bigger base body. Fuck, it's upside down too. Marcus Yee says Vulcan for Giant Man. Yeah, that's a good idea. I actually am thinking about using it when I do my Astonishing X-Men team, which is going to happen at some point. But yeah. So yeah, I'm going to use this retro Spidey. So I'm going to get rid of some parts here that I don't need. I am thinking about swapping out some of the lower arms with and the boots with that Shadowlands Daredevil that we got. Aside from having fists, he's going to need to have open hands. He's going to need to have weapon holding hands too. So this is going to end up going away. There's a couple pieces that I want to add to this. So the reason I have the tray out is so that way I can just dump all my shit into this tray. And let's put the important stuff over here. This stuff's gonna go find a home elsewhere in my fodder. This is all my, this is like belts, straps, that sort of thing. I might quickly sift through the other figures I'm going to be doing while I have all this out. One of the things I wanted to look for was this tie around the leg. Gambit in some of the pictures has like this like leg wrap tie thing. The belt that he wears, there's actually, I have a couple belts here that I'm gonna put back that I didn't end up using. So yeah, so Gambit's belt is like not so pouch like. It has a couple pouches, but it doesn't look like the usual 90s style pouches. It looks almost like more like, kind of reminds me of like more Star Wars-y. I find a lot of the Age of Apocalypse stuff's like that. Haven't really been able to find a good belt for Havoc either. I ended up just buying a second Cyclops figure thinking that might work best. You know, something like this I feel like might work better. But that's from a movie Ant-Man. That's a possibility. We'll put it aside. What else am I looking for here? Oh, there is a cape that I had in mind as well. Capes. Those are jackets. Don't need to jump around too much, but I'm going to just grab the pieces that I know I have put aside for this. So yeah, this cape's kind of nice because it's tattered and it's red already. I don't even have to really do anything to it. I've seen this used before for Gambit. But yeah, it should work mostly good. It'll lay nicely, which is good. Sorry. If I can find some cool knees with armor on it, I may try to do that and save myself a bit of work, but we'll see. Oops. What else can we do for belts? Oh, this is a good one. This is from X-Man. It only has a couple pockets on it though, so I don't know. We'll leave that aside too. What is the chat saying here? Oh, there's a lot. Sorry. Nike Boy says, I recommend it. The first 3 seasons are a little slow and can be boring at times, but season 4 and 5 is amazing. See, you're talking about Breaking Bad. So this is where I worry about stuff like that, is like, I don't have 3 seasons of slow and boring to decide if something's going to work for me or not. I'm sure it's probably not. I'm still going to try it anyways, but yeah. Like, I almost lost Stranger Things at season 2. I was like, yeah, I'm out. But I ended up sticking through it, and I'm glad I did. But I did sleep through all of it. Most of it. Eric Alfred Abel says, I just finished season 4 Better Call Saul, and it's great. Yeah, I've heard that. I've only heard good things. Better Call Matchu. Anonymous Dude says, I hear episode 3 is a not miss for sure. Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about Andor still. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm really excited to watch it. Eric Alfred Abel says, have you modified any Thousand Toys synthetic humans? I haven't. I really try to stick with Marvel Legends, basically because I know them so well. So like, I feel confident when I break them down. I worry about, that's a good belt for Gambit, even though it's 90s style pockets. I worry about ruining an expensive figure. I worry about not being familiar enough to be able to eliminate all the paint rub points. I worked with a V-Toys Daredevil figure to make a V-Toys base body to make a Daredevil figure, and learned a lot. But also realized that I probably just want to stick with Marvel Legends. Oh, this is kind of more. This is a Stormtrooper belt. I kind of like this, and I can just put it on right here. Look at that. Yeah, see, that's kind of more what I'm going. That's what I'm going to stick with. Put these all back. And then before I switch this off, I'm going to quickly go back to this. Eric Alfred Abel says, hey, Nike boy, Mezco made some Breaking Bad figures, including Fringe. Fring. Hey! Charlie made it. Charlie Zimmel said, I missed attendance and I'm tardy, but I'm here. Good for you, dude. I'm glad you made it. Anonymous dude says, fascinating. So many belts and trinkets. Hey, what up, Alvin? Astonishing News and Reviews says, hello, sir. Thanks for stopping by. Right now I'm piecing together this Age of Apocalypse Gambit. So I need to get some hands. So I might have to end up coming back in here. I'm assuming the better way to do this would be not to do them one at a time, but I'm just going to because, I don't have any other things to work on. So I don't really care if it takes some time. So yes, this is me being nice and organized. It's new though. This is the first time I've kit bashed in this method. They all used to just be loose in a bin, like still separated by like what they are, but like maybe not as separated. And it was like a huge, there'd be so many times where I'd be looking for something and I'd look and couldn't find it. And then one day I would be looking for something else and be like, oh, I found it. So yeah, so it was time to get some organization up in this piece. But yeah, I wanted to use that retro style Gambit or Spidey for Gambit because he is an agile character, and I feel like the Sunfire body might be just a touch too small for him, whereas this one is just a little bit thicker. So I figured this would be the best way to go. Okay, so we'll put these back. Dig in for some hands. So I need some weapon holding hands. Let's see, where are my hands? Hands. There's a lot. I bought a knockoff Venom, movie Venom from Walmart.ca, and it came with these cool alternate hands. It's like, oh, that's not in the regular one, but that's cool. Okay, so for his weapon holding hand, he has a staff. I'm going to have him do in and out hands rather than up and down hands. Usually the up and downs I kind of save for like guns and for swords. And they're harder to come by, so I don't just la-di-da drop them in whenever I need to. I'm pretty particular about when I do it. The only shitty part about this is that his arm, he has like tape kind of going up like his wrists and arms and his hands. So all of these extra sets of hands I'm going to have to sculpt on, which is annoying as fuck. But that's okay. Oh, that might be a more fun hand set rather than these hands. Okay, so instead of having an open, I'm going to have this Gambit hand. And also, do I have one of those bullseye hands that has like the effects piece coming out? I don't think I do. Okay. Used it on something many moons ago. Let's just put some of this bigger shit in here that I don't need. That I know I'm not going to need. These Wolverine claws that are useless, I don't need those. That's good enough. Okay. So yeah, so I need in and out hands. In and out. Okay. Those are like mechanical looking. I want them to all match what I already am using, so this will work, I think. I wonder if I have an extra staff. The moment of truth. We'll see what we got. Okay, let's dig out my weapons and see what we got for weapons. Something like that should stand out pretty easily. Oh, these are guns? Distance weapons? Guns. So I think I have a thing with like close combat weapons. Yeah, here we go. I'm pretty sure I have a gambit staff. I do. Excellent. He's going to need that. Okay. The head's the tricky part. That's what she said. Astonishing says, holy belts, Batman. And Nike Boy says, I got Comic-Con on Friday. I'm very excited, hoping to pick up at least one Sideshow figure. Which one are you eyeballing, man? You collect, for Sideshow, you collect only horror stuff, right? Or do you collect other stuff? Okay, so this is where we're at with Gambit so far. Let's trade up a couple of these hands here. Let's put this one in because it's cool and very Gambit-y. I like that. Yeah, very cool. And let's put this one in because... Oh, that's not the right hand. I need that hand, but I need it for the right hand. I guess this works fine too. That's also left hand. Also left. Fuck. I also have these pre-wrapped hands, which I might put aside because it'd be easier to just sculpt one pair of hands than to sculpt 3. And I'm considering using the lower arms that are all like the wrapped up wrists from that Daredevil. So if I have, they'll match perfectly. And I think there should be open hands with it too. I think he comes with weapon holding hands as well. That's not. Yeah, these are Daredevil. Daredevil. Now I've got to find the open hands. Let's see if I can put this belt on, like actually have it on. I like this because it looks not like 90s X-Men. Oh shit, it worked, but then it came apart. Cool. This is going to be a dope Gambit. It's a good starting point. Okay, right now I'm on the hunt to find those weapon holding hands from Daredevil. I'm pretty sure they should be in here because I fodderized that Daredevil. I didn't end up using it, or keeping it rather. You should be in here, but where are you? It'd be very weird if I didn't have them. What would I have used them for? This is for bandits. I keep seeing another set of fists, but not. I wonder if the weapon holding hands are in the arms. Ugh, there's so many arms. Okay, we're gonna. Oh man, a lot of arms. Okay, there's like literally 2.5 bags of arms. I think it's ridiculous. Anonymous dude says it's really interesting. You don't look at figures like everyone else. Each week I'm understanding more of your point of view. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I think that's kind of the point I try to get across is, yeah. I mean, I do enjoy figures as they are too, but I'm lucky that I get to enjoy them on a second level too. It's kind of nice. Nike Boy says, I collect mostly horror, but I really like the Darth Vader figure. If I see him, I'll buy him. Yeah, that thing is fucking real nice. I like that one they solicited from Obi-Wan series that had the busted up helmet. That's super, super dope. Okay, I'm trying not to just put all this stuff back in. I'm just looking. This is one of the bags. Fuck. I mean, really, the only hard part about this is trying to do it on camera, right? Because I just don't have the space to have it all on the screen. Oh, no, that's not what I thought it was. What else we got? Here's more arms. Oh, did I leave them on? Oh, snap, I did leave them on. And to be honest, oh, yeah, that might work. So, yeah, and here's the other one. Oh, look at that. Lucky old me. So, yeah, so he's got weapon holding hands. He can hold this staff like a motherfucker, I think. I hope. Hells yeah. Ooh, there you go. Cool. I'm gonna roll with that. Okay, let's put this back for a minute or 6. And since we're working on one at a time, let us. I wonder if I should look for some boots and see if I have any options for boots. The boots. What is this? This is for Gambit. I'm gonna opt to use my scraper to get the most of these off. Okay, so I have my weapons for now. I will have to go back in here. But you can tell I'm a baker. I use a baker's scraper to scrape all the shit off my table. I'm glad that I remembered that I would have kept something on the arms, or else I would have looked for something I wasn't in there. So see, even as a random thing, I even save all these little. I feel like a fucking like serial killer. I even save all these like little fingers and shit I've ripped off of Spider-Man figures, cut off of Spider-Man figures when I'm making different hands. Because I'm like, you never know when you might need just one finger for a middle finger or something. Okay. Okay, so let's look at some heads for this guy. So these are all male humanoid heads. Oh, buddy. That's a lot of heads. That's a lot of head. What are we all saying in here? Oh, we didn't even talk about HasLab. Anonymous Dude says, question, what is your first impression of the Ghost Rider HasLab? All right, man, here's my take on Ghost Rider. I'm not a huge Ghost Rider fan. I like Johnny Blaze, but otherwise, I'm not a huge Ghost Rider fan. Oh, shit, I'm going to put these back in with the other hands before I forget. Well, we'll just leave them aside for now. I think it looks really cool. I think the price is crazy. I think it's asking a lot. But that being said, I hope it funds. The negativity coming out of the community right now is fucking annoying and gross and turning me off in a really big way. I just don't understand why people can't be happy for the people who are happy. Like, there's people who are looking at this and are like, yeah, it's expensive, but Ghost Rider is my favorite, so I'm in. And for those people, like, I feel bad that they have to spend that much money, but I'm also happy that this is an option. Like, yeah. I mean, I'm out based on the size alone. The money is not really the big issue for me. Like, I don't want to say I'm like rich. I'm not rich, but like, you know, I live comfortably. I have a decent job, and like, you know, I'm fortunate that I don't have to like worry when I drop money on toys because like I'm good and I know I'm okay, right? But like to me, I just don't see $350 US worth of stuff in it personally. I'm sure the stretch goals are going to be insane because I feel like if there's one thing that those guys do really, really well with their HasLabs is their stretch goals. And since they're all going to be figures, I think that it's going to ultimately end up being a really good deal because you're going to probably get like an extra 3 or 4 figures if it can go that far. But yeah, I mean, I think it looks sick. Like, I don't think there's any denying that it looks awesome. And I think people who are comparing it to like Bratz cars and shit like that, like, I get where you're going with it, but I feel like a lot of people don't understand like the license. I don't either. The licensing side of things where it's like, you know, what it costs them, Hasbro, to make a Ghost Rider figure, like, you know, legally, like from a legal standpoint, from fees and licensing and shit like that. I just think people need to fuck off, really, is what it comes down to. If you are excited about it, then that's super dope. And you should be able to be excited about it and have people not shit on you for being excited about it. That's where I'm at, really. That's the worst part about this whole thing is people are just like shitting all over people who like it. And it's like, man, really? You're that miserable that you can't let somebody enjoy this? Like, that's disappointing. What do you guys think? Who's backing it? Anyone in here backing this? The Ghost Rider? I think he looks crazy. And like honestly, like that Robbie Reyes figure, it looks like it's not going to hit the early bird funding and get funded, but I think that Robbie Reyes figure is fucking so dope. I love it. Who is Ed Gain? These fingers are my trophies. I didn't say that. That's pretty funny though. You should get a PO box. I would love to send you some stuff. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've thought about it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm really weird about accepting free stuff. I don't know why. Yeah. Charlie says, I'm actually fucking miserable, but I'm not being a douche on those that like it. Yeah, see, that's a good way to do it. Be fucking miserable yourself, you fucks. I'm just kidding. Ramos Dude says, I feel you. I think internet people need more pizza and hugs. Fuck yeah. And an overload of cute puppy pictures and kitten pictures and like ducklings and stuff. Seriously, lighten the fuck up. It's fucking hot as dicks in this place. I need to put this fan and point it at me here. Forgive me for moving for a second here. Because it's super fucking hot in this room. It's weird. It's been cool all week, and as soon as I get the cameras and everything going, it's just the fucking worst. Okay. Let's find a head for this Gambit. I thought I had there it is, a Toy Biz Gambit, and the hair is pretty fucking close. But unfortunately, he has the head sock on. I wonder how easy it would be to take that off. That's a definite option. And size-wise, it looks like it would fit. And like he's got the right look. I don't know how well that shows up on the camera just because it's clear. But it's basically just a cast of the old Toy Biz Gambit. That's a definite option. I think I should, especially because it's a cast, it should be even easier to smooth out that head sock. And then I have to sculpt some hair on underneath the headband part, but that's a definite contender. Nah, that looks too goofy. Let's give him an Owen Wilson head. Wow. This is one section of my fodder bin that I have thinned out in a big way from just giving them to friends and stuff. I need to be smarter about that kind of shit. Not that I'm not going to give them to my friends, but yeah. I thinned out a lot of my good head choices in here. See, a lot of these things have beards, and like you can shave the beards off, but it's just such a pain to get it looking smooth and clean. And this is just a generic head that came on a V-Toys body, but I think it looks pretty okay. But I don't think it looks like Gambit. But maybe with some hair and shit, it might. Just trying to let's put this guy's arms or hands on here. This is a maybe. I'm not sure it really fits what I'm looking for. This Paul Redhead could potentially be fun though, because he's kind of got a stupid smile on. I don't know. It's too looks like Paul Red, I think. Same with that's a bit too on the nose. Is it? This Paul Redhead might be okay. I mean, at the end of the day, this Gambit head is perfect if I can just get the head sock off. I think I'm going to ultimately try to roll with this. And then I'll put this Paul Redhead in. See, the thing is this figure probably won't even get started till next year. So, I mean, I got lots of time to sit and think about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all my pieces into a bag. And then at the end, I'm going to piece them together. So, okay, so heads are good. I'm going to put these heads back in for now. And then I'm going to look at the boots because I want to see how those Daredevil boots match. See if we can get something good. Also, I don't know if I have any knee pads that resemble these knee pads from Gambit here. But oh, there's lots of comments. Marcus E says, I won't be able to back it, but the car looks amazing. The detail is well done. And Charlie, I didn't let you send me free shit. I traded you for stickers. I call that a fair deal. Marcus said it gains a serial killer who was the inspiration for Leatherface. That's pretty fucked up. Hopefully I don't get any weird nicknames from this. I also love pizza. It's the best. Eric Alfred Abel says, I'm with you. It does not have the value. I want it, but I know I'll regret buying it. Do you feel like there's a chance you might regret not buying it as well? Just putting that out there. Honest Dude says, I'm not backing it because I'm broke, but all HasLabs are good investments and it'll make a nice Fast and the Furious car. I mean, you're not wrong. The car does look sick. I just don't have, I'm not a vehicles guy. I don't really have the attachment to that stuff. You know, if there was like a Johnny, Toka, or Razar, fucker. If there was attachment or like Johnny Blaze is my Ghost Rider. You know, if it was more Johnny Blaze related, I might be more inclined. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just not there. And again, like I don't have the space. You guys have seen my shelves. Where the fuck am I gonna put a car that big? I could barely get that Sentinel in there, and even doing that, I had to redo my whole entire case to make it work. I don't have the luxury of the real estate of that kind of stuff. So, but I do love Robbie. I hope Robbie gets released. There's some really good parts in there. Looks like he uses quite a bit of Longshot, that new Longshot figure, which is looking very promising. We're going to come back to these male heads, so for now, I'll just tuck them away. But I have legs. Where are my legs? Marvel Legends male legs. How about that? I think this is that the only bag of legs? That can't be right. Modern Marvel Legends boots. This is where those Daredevil boots might come in handy. No, because they're not wrapped. And they look like they're wrapped. So I don't know. Maybe they're not wrapped. Just looking at the pictures on here. I'm gonna just open something here and see. Wrapped feet. legs, boots. I guess they're not technically wrapped. They kind of look wrapped though. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the boots. If I'm going to sculpt them myself or... Yeah, who knows? Marcus, he's laughing at my hot as dicks. It's hot as dicks. I have a bunch of random figures you can mutilate and transform into greatness. Oh, that's always fun. Yeah, like I said, I try my best to just look at Legends, mostly Marvel Legends, just because I don't have the space. And yeah, no, these boots look like they might be good. One has like a little knife sheath on it though, and I don't know if I could use that, but I could always take that off. These are from Captain America. No, they're pretty short though. Oh, this could potentially work though. Oh no, it's just nah. I don't think either. Just seeing if there's anything here before I don't want to dump them all out again. I mean, I will, but oh, these are the boots I want to use for Cyclops. Let's put those aside too. Those are movie Magneto boots. I'll leave those aside for a second. I'm just trying to see if there's anything that kind of resembles something that like looks like it's got like it's wrapped up. Like this has straps, but I don't want straps. I've seen people use these old Captain America style boots. But I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I mean, I guess you could use it as a starting point. But if that's the case, you could just use anything as a starting point. I do want to change the feet, though. Maybe I'll use these. Maybe these Wolverine feet? So many decisions. Okay, we'll put those aside for now. Let's just see. Put everybody. A lot of the customs I've seen that have done Gambit, I've seen them use those Captain America feet, and it works. But I just like to do something different. What about these guys? Nah, that's not really what I'm looking for. Wolverine feet. No, it doesn't really suit what I'm looking for. Okay, I think I'm mostly happy with how this is looking. Ooh, I do kind of like these feet on this Ant-Man figure though. All right, let's take that out. I may sculpt the legs, but use the feet. I might do that. Oh, that might be kind of good too. Nah, it's not good. I like them to be. This one in particular, I want to be semi-accurate, so I'm gonna just sculpt the knees myself. It'll look better. Yeah. Marcus Z, it's low-key giving me Wiccan vibes with the cape specifically. Yes, I agree. I remember when that cape first came out, I thought of Gambit and I thought of Wiccan, sorry, not Wicket. Wicket is an Ewok. But yes, definitely, I agree. Okay, I'm happy with this one. I could pick at it all night. So I'm gonna just see if I can find that other Ant-Man leg though. Oh, it should be in here somewhere. Or do I have a third bag of legs? I think I do. Oh, snap, I do. A lot of legs. Where are you, Ant-Man leg? I don't want to empty these things out. Oh man, I wonder if I have. I might empty these out. Trying to find the other leg for this, but I also want. I see a knee pad that might be maybe not perfect, but a good starting point. This is from the old Hobgoblin Build-A-Figure, but you can see that knee is kind of what I'm looking for. It's not perfectly the right shape, but I would almost forgive it. I know I don't have two of the like different legs, but I think for a knee I could use the opposite and get away with it. So I may try that. These guys back. I don't think I have two of those knees though, so I don't think. I'm pretty sure I only have one leg. But we're gonna go through all the goods and see. We'll do it together. So nice. This one did not have what I was looking for. So these get to all go back in the bag. You can see I've got lots of just random limbs in here. There's a. Did I scoop up that boot? Oh snap! I did. Uh-oh. Might need to have to go back in here and get this boot out. Let's just take that. Move it. It dropped a piece, so let's get that. Oh, damn it. Trying not to empty it. But I took my Cyclops boot. Do that. Oh. Oh, I took this Ant-Man leg too. Good thing I went back in. I would have been pissed when I couldn't find the other one. Oh, look at that. I missed it the first time. There's the second one. I just like these boots, guys, so I'm going to steal these Ant-Man boots, I think, and try them on. Try them on here and see how they look. And there is that Cyclops boot. There we go. I am still going to just quickly look in this other bag and see if I have another Hobgoblin bag. Because that, what's it called? That knee works nicely if I can get it to go. Okay, put this shit back. Come on, come on, come on. Sorry, I'm trying to do both chat and that game was also the inspiration for the movie Psycho. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that either. See all this stuff I learned from you guys. Giving head. That's going back a bit. I'm not behind. That's great. Quebec Diorama says, giving heads to friends, eh? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm a good friend to have, apparently. Anonymous Dude says, is Gambit a favorite of yours? Yeah, he's one of my favorites. Yeah, he's probably in my top 10 X-Men, or maybe not characters, but X-Men for sure. I really like Gambit a lot. He's great. Nike Boy says, I think... Oh, my camera has disconnected. That's fucking great. Okay, guys, bear with me while I try to remedy this. I've been having issues with this camera for quite some time. I'm going to have to switch back to my webcam, but in the fact that I'm doing it, I'll make it right side so that way you guys aren't looking at it upside down. Nike Boy Jay says, I think you should scrap any upcoming projects and use all the arms and legs and heads and make one huge creature with like 90 heads and many arms. Have you ever followed, or have you ever checked out, what's his name? Marquee Creations on Instagram, Marquee Creations. He does shit like that. It's crazy. His mind is insane. It's really cool. He basically like kit bashes using like crazy stuff, multiple heads, and yeah, it's fucking nuts, man. It's awesome though. Like he's so good. Just gonna take down my little setup here. My apologies for the technical difficulty. I was gonna make a little sign that says like technical difficulties. When I was on Kevin's stream, Butter Baron stream, I was like, you should get a little sign that's like a melted stick of butter. It says like technical difficulties, hang tight or something. How fucking funny would that be? Okay, so if I want to look at it this way. All right, let's just get this in here. Oops. Thanks for coming out there, Razar. Walker. Okay. We'll move this back. We will. Oh, hang it tight. I gotta. Okay, give me 1 sec. Start cam. And we want the Neo. All right. Let's add to stream. Oh. Don't want to have any of that echo in the house. Okay. So just give me a sec while I get this to sit nicely. It's easy when I can do it over a large screen here. Sorry, guys. Here, let's do this. You guys don't have to watch me do it. I can just... Oh, there we go. That's better. That is better. The nice thing about these other cameras I have is they're like I get a wider shot than I do with my Sony. All right. It's not perfect, but it'll suffice, I think. Hey guys, I apologize for my technical difficulties. Very annoying. But, oh yeah, and this cable in my way is not doing me any solids either. Let me just see. Yeah, you can see pretty much everything. Cool. Okay, be good. What do we got? They should have done that with Ghost Rider with the horse. Would have been a lot cooler. You think? I don't think the horse would have backed as fast as the car will. The car will definitely back. I don't have any doubt. Eric Alfred Abel says there's definitely a chance of FOMO with this car, especially with the Dom Toretto options. Second Fast Furious reference tonight. Marcus E says those shoes feet look like they can be used from Phantom Ranger or Magnet Defender. Yeah, maybe. I don't have a lot of Power Rangers fodder, but I do have a bit. But yeah. Okay, so I'm going to just put all the shit that I've acquired for this Gambit so far in a little bag here, and we'll revisit them after the fact. So we've got base bodies, Retro Spidey. We're going to swap out those lower arms for these from a Shadowlands Daredevil. I'm going to consider swapping out the feet with either these Ant-Man, movie Ant-Man, or possibly the boots from an old Captain America figure, movie Captain America. For heads, I have the old Toy Biz cast, which is just a cast, and this Paul Rudd head, which I hope I don't need to use. I have fists from that Daredevil figure that are all wrapped up, which is nice. And unfortunately, his open hand, where did I, there it is. I'll have to sculpt the wrap onto this hand and the Gambit hand that I picked. I also have a staff for him. And I have that one Hobgoblin leg, but I'm almost certain I don't have a second. Those are boots. Those aren't legs. So yeah. I'm pretty certain I don't, though. I was already in this earlier. Like, I remember having three, I think I had 3 of them, and I remember using 2 lefts for an old custom I did a long time ago. That's why I'm pretty certain I don't have the second one. Okay, I'm going to just put this back, because I'm pretty certain I don't have what I need. And that's just fine. I will sculpt. I'm not afraid. Okay, Gambit. Nice. Next up, who are we looking at next? Chamber and Skin and Jubilee. And then I have Warbirds. I already have some stuff put together for Warbird and for Skin. Age of Apocalypse, Quicksilver. I can pull out a few pieces for that. The head and the boots in particular. I know what I'm using for the boots, so if I see them, I'll just pull them out. That's what she said. Let's do some Gen X. So base bodies. So I have a couple ideas for base bodies for this. Let's do this. I wish I could do. Yeah, I guess I can do that. Then you have to look at my like slouched over self here as I. Okay. So yeah, I do have a couple already kind of lined up for this. So for Skin, here's my original plan for Skin. When I saw this Mr. Fantastic, I thought it worked well. It has the like shirted torso. And then I put some feet from Shang-Chi on him. And then these hands from Mr. Fantastic just make sense for Skin. But then I saw, when I picked up this Darwin figure exclusively for his Build-A-Figure part. Did I feel to take him out earlier? These hands really stood out to me in case I want. I like to have options for my customs when they're for me in particular. But I really like these hands because they're like elongated and they look, again, like Slender Man style kind of hands. And then that way he doesn't always have to have like crazy fingers, but he can still look crazy. So yeah, so when I saw this Darwin figure, I didn't actually notice it from promo pictures, but once I had him in person, I was like, oh, I kind of like those hands. They kind of look like slender and weird and like almost amphibious. So yeah, I kind of like that. Right? So yeah, so I'm thinking that this is a good base. And then I bought an extra Toad figure because I bought one from a place, which I don't want to shit on them because it's not entirely their fault, but I received a figure for a Toad, the new Toad figure, and it came with 2 right fucking arms, and the place I bought it from wouldn't help me. They wouldn't give me a replacement or anything. They're still trying to deal with Hasbro, but it's been a while. But yeah, my buddy Ethan Supley Customs, who runs the Secret Santas with me, suggested utilizing this figure because of all of the wrinkles for Skin for his legs. But when I put them side by side, it would give him a pretty big drastic height drop, like by probably a good 1/4 of an inch, which I'm not looking to do. I want Skin to be tall and slender. So for that reason, I'm not. But the bigger reason is there's a seam line in the pants on both sides, which would be more work for me to have to fill those entirely. And I was just like, I don't really think it's worth that. So I decided it'll be easier for me, especially since I fill in the peg holes anyways, it would be easier for me to just sculpt in kind of like folds in its skin. Because Skin's characteristics are like, he has way too much skin and he like gets stretchy. So like what I kind of thought was like, he's the same size, but he's a bit bigger. They're always tricky. They're the same size. Okay. So yeah, so what I kind of thought was I could sculpt some kind of folds in. I'm gonna probably sculpt over the musculature on the arms and on the legs to make them kind of like softer looking, like not so muscly. And I'm considering extending the arms a bit, but to be honest with you, I don't know if they really need it. This body's already pretty lanky, so, and with these hands and with these hands, they're only going to look lankier. So I think I'm going to just leave it as is, but I still need to figure out a head. I really like the one that Morning Wolf used. He used a retro Loki. I'm trying to not copy off him but I mean, some of the stuff that he did was just so smart that it's hard not to. So yeah, so this is what I have for skin so far. 3 sets of hands. Look for a belt. Let's catch up with these comments. There's a lot. I'm missing a lot, I think. Buy the figure for the car. Do it for family. It's funny. I'll just put it out there. If anyone does buy it for the car, I will buy Robbie off of you. As long as it's not like ridiculously priced. But if you get stuck with it, I would buy it off you. Anonymous dude, Charlie Zibble, you know you're probably joking, but much good vibes to you. Great time to be a toy fan. Anonymous dude's always spreading that positivity. Marcus Yee says maybe Costco Reese from Black Series, but that might be too small. Yeah, I think it would be. Marvel Legends. Marcus Yee says only wraps I could think of the are the modern Marvel Legends Kraven. Yeah, I think I have some of those, but I think they might be too big for. They might be okay, but those Daredevil ones will work. Oh, you're talking about wraps for yes. I am using those for another figure that I cannot share. Shit, that would have been good. Yeah, I am using. That's okay. I'm going to sculpt it. I'm going to just suck it up and be a champ. Get some sculpt on. Anonymous dude says, this reminds me a lot of creating wrestlers in video games. Lots of different body parts, but a physical version. Yeah, that's actually... You won't be surprised to find out that when I used to buy those wrestling games, I would spend the first like 2 weeks building characters. So I had a bunch of characters that I liked and the looks I liked in the build a game or build a character thing. So yeah, funny that you say that because that's literally what I used to do. This is what Thanos' front yard must look like, just random body parts of heroes. Yeah, just scattered everywhere. That's funny. Marcus, he says, ooh, Chamber, and those hands fit pretty well. Yeah, I like these hands. I think they're going to work well. But yeah, Chamber is the one I'm most... that's where I'm actually going to start with when I start customizing them. Chamber is going to be my first one. So, even though I don't want to put them on a Bucky Cat body, I'm going to because I think it makes the most sense size-wise. Okay, we need some heads. I'm going to piece together Chamber too, and maybe Jubilee while I'm at it, just to try to make this process move a little bit smoother. What am I looking for? I am looking for... Oh, that's what I took in. Chamber. I'm going to put them on a Bucky Cat, but I am going to swap out those arms. And I do like these knees. I'm probably going to use these knee pads for a few different ones and build off of them. Like I'll sculpt on top of it, but it's nice because they're already mostly circular, so it saves me a bit of work. Bucky Caps. I think I should still have a Bucky Cap in here somewhere. Chamber. Maybe I don't have any more Bucky caps. That'd be amazing if I finally got rid of them all. I might have to open another figure just to have one here. Shocker. I can take that because it's just the torso I need. So see, what I do is this guy's been just sitting in a bag in hopes that one day I might need him. But now I need him, so I'm going to take his torso. I don't know why I'm doing that. I definitely have Bucky torsos. All I need is a torso. Because the arms and the legs I'm going to take from this guy. Shocker, you saved yourself. You saved yourself. I 100% had Bucky Cap torsos. Found one. Just spared poor Shocker's life. So yeah, so this will be my base. I'm going to swap on these arms onto here and this jacket and these legs. He needs a belt. So let's take a look at this belt. Oh, I see what you're saying, Marcusy. So those knees look a bit like AOA Gambit's. AOA Gambit has this thing. Let me show you. I wish I could like point on here. I don't think you can see my cursor on here. But AOA Gambit has these like it's very noticeable in the action figure in the top left and the picture on the far right. They've got like these kind of remind me of like the Ultimate Warrior base logo, but like more symmetrical. And that's what I'm kind of going for. So I think that's what I'm going to push to do. I just hate sculpting knee pads. They're such a pain in the ass. I want to save as many of these as I can so I can have them all used for Generation X. Because even when I do cinch, I'm just going to take the knees off of. Cinch will be the second guy in just like the generic red costume that I do. So like Skin kind of doesn't have a generic costume. Cinch or Sink? Cinch? Cinch. I think it's Cinch. But yeah, so we're going to basically just do this. And then that will remain the same. We're going to do that tonight. We're going to piece it together. I need to look at belts. And I also need to figure out the stupid shoulder pads. So I did put Burning Wolf's figures in here as reference because I think they're really, really well done. And I like how he sculpted the boots. That's probably what I'm going to do, something similar. But I need a belt for Chamber, and I need a belt for Skin. The shoulder pads I can worry about when we get a little bit closer. Let's stick out some belts for these guys. And while I'm looking, I'll see if I can pull something over Jubilee too. I'm going to dump all this one more time. I'm going to put these back into his bag. Okay, so Gambit, you just hang out over here for a minute or six. These guys can hang here. So yeah, so there was a belt I saw earlier. I should have put it aside when I saw it. It's like the Iceman belt. Where did that just go? I literally just had it. There it is. So yeah, so that one works well. Oh, sorry, you're not even seeing what I'm showing. I think this works pretty good. So I think it'll work for both too. Might be a little loose on Skin, but maybe it won't be. But yeah, I think I have two as well. If I don't, I have another Iceman that I can just pull one off of. It's not a big deal. Yeah. Pull that one. And then I have this one, which I can use for Jubilee. 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 There is a better belt. The one that he used for his. Oh, maybe he sculpted his. Yeah, he probably sculpted his. No. There's a good one too. I just want consistency though. I know if I need more of these belts, my buddy will have them. So maybe I'm gonna just take one off of my Iceman that I have. We'll do that when we take them apart. There's my other Iceman. Okay, so we got a belt for him. We'll have a belt for him. Might be a bit tight, but it won't. And then I'm going to sculpt the boots and everything. I don't want to deal with that. So I'm going to just sculpt them. I think I'm going to sculpt the bracers as well, but Chamber doesn't have bracers. So what I need for Chamber and for Skin is a head, and then I also need some hands for Chamber. The fist hands work good, but I also want some like clenching hands to kind of like simulate his face blowing up, because that's what his power is. So yeah. Anonymous Dude says, question, really like to hear your perspective on Bucky Cat versus Vulcan body type as a toy fan and a customizer. Okay, here's my take. They're not interchangeable. They are different sizes. So it's not really the Hasbro answer to the Bucky Cap unless their intentions are to scale everything up, which that very well may be what they're doing. But it doesn't really work. They're not comparable, unfortunately. They're not the same. So, yeah, he's bigger. Like, the Vulcan body is a replacement for the Grim Reaper mold, really. Like, in that wave where we got Vulcan and then we got, no, it wasn't the same wave. It was the controller wave where we got US Agent on the Reaper body. Like, that should have been on the Vulcan body, that US Agent, that new US Agent. Like, because it fits perfectly. Like, they scale perfectly. That Sabretooth that came in that wave, same thing. It was like, he could have been on a Vulcan body. The thing is like the Vulcan body is like a really 90s style fit illustration where like I find the Reaper, my biggest complaint about the Reaper Buck is that it feels super bloated. Whereas the Vulcan body looks very much like, I call it like heroic proportions. It's got broad shoulders. It's got like, you know, that cut, what's it called? Like torso shape. I'm going to pull it out here. Man, there's so many sexual innuendos going on. I'm going to pull it out right here. Okay. There's Vulcan. So yeah, like I was saying, is I find you get like that nicer superhero proportions. Whereas this guy, I kind of feel is like almost not flabby, but like he's just like, he's thick, he's wide, you know? And it's like, I don't like the shoulders on this guy, the Reaper Buck. But yeah, I mean, size-wise, these are super comparable. It's just, this isn't the Bucky Cap. Like, it's just not. He's too big. So, but that being said, I'm not a fan of the Bucky Cap. I'm ready for that thing to fucking go. So, you know, whenever they want to do that, I'm definitely open to it. Yeah. Anytime. I need to replace it. I also want to use this Shriek figure for Jubilee because I feel like size-wise, it makes a lot of sense. She's not, you know, I don't want her to be too, she might still be too big. I may have to still use a teen body. At this point, she's still a teenager, right? This is right after X-Men Blue and Red and Yellow. Oh, shit. Oh. So she may still need to go on that teen body. That being said, I have a couple things I want to use on that to make that work better. Where is? I do have enough components to put together a Jubilee figure, I think. this out here just in case. What's this? Oh, this is from Shriek. This may not be good enough. I may have to do. Just trying to size them up scale wise and see, like, this is going to be chamber, skin, Jubilee, husk. Yeah, I think I'll use this body for husk in them and use this smaller teen body for Jubilee, I think. If I have the pieces I need to do that. I can't remember what I got. Marvel Legends female torsos. What do I got here? Oh, that might work. No, I think it's too big. Yeah. I mean, I don't want her to be too tall. That's the issue, right? I just need a torso, really. Here's a white tiger. Oh, okay. Oh, I need the lower torso that I need. I wonder if I could put a mix, like do the lower torso. I have. I do have a Nico. Oh, but it's not really gonna work. That's not gonna work. I do have a figure that I'm kind of holding on to that I don't want to use, but I have it put aside in case I need to use it. I have this Danny Moonstar, which I've kind of been saving as a base body that I might need, but I'm saving it to make a Jean Grey from the original X-Men team because that's another thing that's on my long list of stuff that is probably like 2 years away. So in other words, I should probably just use this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to use this because scale-wise, this makes more sense. Just me trying to decide what I'm doing. Marcus says, if they switched out the legs on the Vulcan body, then it might be closer to Bucky Cap. He seems to have long legs. Yeah, I agree. I was hoping that they would do that with that Morph figure. I'm waiting to see how that looks, because in my opinion, if Morph's legs are as long as Vulcan's are, then he's going to be too big to be Morph, in my opinion, because that kind of translates to like 6'2" or 6'3". I think Morph's probably like 6 foot. That Vulcan body would be a good Cyclops if they did a 90 Cyclops. When I do an Astonishing team, I'm going to do Cyclops on that. Anonymous Dude says, don't feedback, dude. Maybe they're scaling up. Yeah, I always dread that. I mean, that's the way they get you guys. They get you guys. They get us to rebuy, right? You know, I probably wouldn't at this point. I don't want to start over. But, yeah. Okay. Just trying to see, is this, because if Shriek's the same size as this, then I'm just going to use, like, she pretty much is. But then these aren't the same, because those are different legs. I see. Danny's not built on the teen body, that's why. Interesting. I don't think I realized that. Okay, so I need a lower body for this. That's what I need. And I wonder if I could just put it on a regular female body to give it a little bit of extra height. I don't know if that would work or not. Like that wouldn't work. That's too tight. I do hate working on that female team buck. It's not a fun one. It's the joints are very fragile. But this. The problem with Jubilee is, yeah. Decisions. What to do? Yeah, maybe I'll have to scale her up a little bit because I don't think I have the parts I need. These are not easy to come by. Female figures with the smaller frames here, the teenager ones. You know, you can get ones that are like, oh, here's an unpainted version of this belt. I'm gonna take this belt off this old Eagle too. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna scale her up. It'll give me more options for not only for her jacket or her arms, but height options too. I don't really have a lot that fit on that smaller frame body. But yeah, this Songbird torso seems like a good one. Like it seems pretty small, so we'll go that direction. Or maybe I do Jubilee on the Shriek body, and I do want to customize with this. I'd lose the double jointed elbows just because I'd switch out the arms, but let's see what we got. I did take out this Sue Storm figure as well, in thoughts that maybe that would work too. That's a bit bigger. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do Jubilee on the Shriek body because it's smaller than the guys. And then the other girls, I'll swap out the Shriek legs for these other legs because they're longer. And that'll give her a bit more height. That's what I'm going to do. That's the end decision. And torso, I think I'm going to swap out the torso for the uniboob rather than the singular double boobs. Because again, she's kind of supposed to be wearing like a jumpsuit, right? So, okay, that's what we're doing. So Jubilee, so we're going to take this off. We're going to take, oh, I guess I can keep the hands. So I'll end up needing hands. I'm going to give her fists and these hands. That. I'll have to take that apart. I need some sleeved arms now too, and I can put those away too. I don't need weapon holding hands. Okay, so I'm going to swap this torso onto here. I'm going to put new arms on her. These can go back in my female torso bag. How far are we this? An hour and a half? Okay, cool. Okay, Danny, you can chill there. Oh, I kind of like this head for Jubilee. She kind of has a different hairstyle in Gen X from some of the pictures that I've seen. So looking at this one in particular on the top right, sorry. She kind of has like this longer hair with like a little bit of bangs in the front. So this might be something I could use there. I'll have to lower it, but we also need to get some. What was I going to say? Some arms. Let's get some arms. We're going to use the legs that come with it because I'm going to sculpt all the details on all these guys. That's going there. This can go back in here. Also go back in here. What am I looking for? Female arms. And where is my trench coat? I definitely have trench coat. that is already yellow and ready to rock. Yeah, this is great. That'll work great. And now arms. So I actually have a couple of the old Jubilee arms, but I think they're going to be too skinny for this body, so probably going to have to look at a couple of different options. These are from a Poe Dameron, I think. It's not going to work. There is. Do I have? I thought I had a pair of. I have some Rogue upper arms, which I could just. I can't decide if I want to do rolled up sleeves. I think I'm going to. Because then I can sculpt the gauntlets onto her. Yeah, I'm gonna keep the sleeves rolled up. So those and those. I'm gonna swap out those lower arms though for different ones. Got some of these from Lady Deadpool. Cool. Swap those. Okay. Jubilee pieced together. So here's Jubilee. Got body, got torso and coat, got sleeves and arms, got hands, got potential head. I also have just a regular old Jubilee head as well from the old Build-A-Figure, which I may also do as an option as well. So just for something more recognizable. Oops, sorry, I realized that I'm not. Yeah. Marcus E, how about Power Ranger female body? They could be a good middle ground between Teen Body and Shriek, but with more articulation. That's a potentially good idea, sir. I think I have a Ranger Slayer female. Do I? Even if it was just the torso. I'll have to see if I can dig that out. I can't remember where it is. That might be an option, though. That's a good idea. Might give me some more variety for my ladies. Okay. I'm just going to look through here quickly and see if I have a pair of Mockingbird legs in here. I think I do. No. No, I don't. That's okay. I have one in here, so. I think, anyway. Like, I literally just worked on all this stuff in here. You'd think I would remember more what I have on hand. Definitely thought I had a Mockingbird in here. But I don't. I have one in my... Like this. I have one that's unopened that I haven't touched. And again, she had a good starting point for the knees. She's got the round knees here. So we're gonna take those and put them onto the... I might actually even prefer these legs. Again, how big a difference is there? Not much. Okay, we're gonna play with this too and see. Okay, so this is all the stuff I need to make Jubilee. Oh, hands are all there. Okay, we're good. So Jubilee's good. Okay, so we'll put that aside. We're going to put together some of these while I have all the components out and stuff. Okay, the last thing I need to do is find some head options for chamber and skin, and find some hands for chamber. Okay, so put these away, put this away, put that away. Heads. Where y'all at? Let's get right back at her. What do we got here? Marcus, good call on the Power Rangers thing. I might try that. I'm going to pull one out and see how they scale up. I don't have one handy, but I have one somewhere. I'll dig it out. I have a Ranger Slayer somewhere. Collector Express, they got a few of the controller wave figures in today. The paint on Madame Hydra's face is terrible. Oh, that's disappointing. I got Speedball, and the only two I'm getting from the wave was Speedball and US Agent, and thankfully both of mine were good. But that's too bad. I really like that Madame Hydra's hairpiece. It's fucking really cool. It reminds me of like Uma Thurman in Pulp Fiction. Marcus, he says Jubilee's boots look a bit like the AOA Rogue boots. Yeah, I know. I kind of thought about that too. I'm going to try to... The problem with doing Generation X is there's so many different looks. They're drawn differently like every issue. Not really, but like a lot. So I'm kind of just picking a look that I like the best. I'm actually going to do what Morning Wolf did, which is I'm going to base them off the old Toy Biz line, the 5-inch Toy Biz line, and that's the armor I'm going to do for the whole team, regardless of if they wore it like that in the comics or not. I'm going to pick one style because I really like my figures to flow together when they're a team. So I want the reds to all be the same. I want the yellows to be the same. I want the boots to be the same. I want the gauntlets to be the same. Consistency is key. All right, let's look at this. We're doing heads again. So this head is going back in here, and these can both go in here. Those are from earlier. This chamber figure is in. This hand is not going to get used. I already have an idea of the hands I'm going to use here. So, and actually, these lower arms I may not use for chamber either. I may end up swapping those out. I'm going to play with a couple ideas here. So for chamber, I want two heads. I want one that has kind of like this, as you can see on the top left hand, right next to the action figure. He's kind of got this like mouthpiece. Kind of covers his lower part of his mouth. So I'm going to do one figure with kind of more like regular facial expression doing that. And then I want one head for his explosion head where his eyes are like, you know, more like there's some more expression in it. So definitely want to have a couple options here. And skin, well, I don't know. I may end up copying off of my friend Morning Wolf on that. Because that Loki head that we used is fucking funny. Skin's just got a really weird look, and again, drawn very differently in multiple different versions, so hard to commit. Okay. So I'm looking for kind of like a squinting, kind of more like expressive head and a regular head. I kind of have to base it at like, the nice thing is the mouths don't really need to match that much because like he's gonna have his mouth covered in both versions. That's too skinny. So I'm trying to basically start by finding, finding a head that's got some expression in it, and then I'll work backwards. So I kind of need them to match, right? So I don't want the heads to look like they're two different people. I'm worried about this Lewis head looking too much like Lewis no matter what I do to it, but that might potentially be an okay skinhead. Skinhead. I'll put it aside. I don't think it'll work. But... I feel like this Iceman's got like edges sculpted to him to make him look like he's more icy. So I don't think that'll work. Chamber skin. What about this is a Punisher. I don't hate that. That may be an option. Leave that there. What else are you guys saying in here? I think you guys can see the stuff now, so. Anonymous Dude says, are you watching Rings of Power and or House of Dragons? Her Rings of Power is slow burn, but quality, and Hot D is scandalous and riveting. I am not really a fantasy guy, so I was never Lord of the Rings, not Lord of the Rings. I was never a Lord of the Rings fan, nor was I the other one that you're saying. House of Dragons. What's that based? What's the first series? I don't remember what it's called. But I was never into either of those, no. So yeah, I have nothing to contribute. But again, I think people need to chill the fuck out. Like, I've heard that there's lots of people complaining that there's black people in the Lord of the Rings, and I'm just like you can believe in elves, but you can't believe that there's black people there. It's just like, yeah, it's fucking annoying. It's exhausting. So yeah, so I steer clear of that shit all the fucking way. Charlie says, what do you think of Hasbro starting lineup figs? I look at them and all I see is parts. I think they look like there's some good parts. Ooh. That's going to be a good chamber head. I'll have to sculpt the hair when I pull the band off, but that'll be a good explosion head. He'll have good expressions. Sorry, hopefully my camera's picking it up. Cool, that's gonna for sure get used. Yeah, I see a lot of good fodder, that's for sure. I think they look like they move pretty good. So yeah, I'll reserve judgment until they come out, but I can see myself at least picking one up to just play with it and see kind of what it does. But yeah, I think it looks cool. What do you guys think? Morning Will says, I see you're putting together your Gen X line. Awesome, looking good so far. Hey, thanks, dude. What do you think of this head for chamber? I'm gonna give him two heads. I'm gonna give him like a one with his face blowing up, which is this one, and one where he's like more somber and with his little mouthpiece. But I like this because the eyes are kind of like, fuck, my face is blowing up. I used your things for reference. Look. Whoop. That's my reference pick. That looks too much like Punisher. Two heads now. Yeah, okay, so skin, I do have some time still, so like these will most likely change again by the time. Oh, how many of these bullseye heads do I have? This would be a good exploding head. Because this face really looks like, oh, fuck me. If I have two of these, I'll do it. I like to always keep one of these bullseyes in my fodder. Oh, I do, look at that. Excellent. That's where we'll use that instead of Cannibal. Because that's got a crazy looking face. Now I just have to find like a normal head for him that kind of matches it. Again, it doesn't really have to be perfect though, right? Like I don't have, because the mouth will be covered. So I need to find something that works. What do we got? And again, the bottom part of the face will be covered, so it doesn't really matter about that part. Trying to steer clear of movie figures, although I will say that Morning Wolf's able to make the movie likenesses kind of disappear with his paint. I wonder if that would pass. Not really. I think it's a little bit different. It might. That's a possible. We're getting to the 2-hour mark. We haven't put anything together yet. I'm going to turn my kettle on here and get that water boiling, so that way I can start piecing shit together here. I need this always. This is just like a straight up Peter Parker head. But again, if I can cover his nose covered, not really. I don't know if that looks the same enough. Like, is that though? This kind of is. Yeah, that kind of does. You think that could pass, guys? Again, covering the bottom part of the face. I feel like it might be able to. Plus, I might be able to use that hair for standard chamber. Have to add a bit more to it, but I might leave it at that for now, and then by the time I get to it. So realistically, I won't start Generation X till either December or January, probably, just based on my current flow. Okay, I think I like that. Let's put this back. What was the last thing I was going to look for? Oh, I was going to look for a head for Quicksilver, too. But I'll do that separate. I won't do that with you guys. Because I want to do some more stuff. I want to put stuff together. We're already at the 2-hour mark, so let's put what we have together. So we're going to put together Gambit, Airwave Gambit. We're going to put together Generation X Skin, Generation Chamber, Generation X Jubilee. And that's it. And then I'll come back and do Quicksilver and more later. I have to put together my Secret Santa tonight too. I finally worked the torso and the arms and the legs. I had to shorten everything. So I finally have all the pieces ready to go. And now I just have to put it together, and then I can start actually sculpting and shit. I'm still in the Frankenstein mode. Okay. So Jubilee's got a head. Those two both have a head. But again, I don't really love this Punisher head for skin. I'm not going to lie. I'm most likely going to steal Morning Wolf's idea and use the Loki. I think that Loki head is literally perfect. So yeah. Oh, hands. That was the last thing I saw with that. I just want to get some clenched hands for chamber. Something like this, but I was thinking more like this Red Skull size. These Red Skull ones in particular is exactly what I was thinking. Because again, very expressive, you know. So when his mouth is blowing the fuck up, you can kind of have his like, holy fuck, my mouth. You know, kind of like that more expressive. So yeah, I think I'm gonna roll with that. think I have them in skin tone anymore. Well, maybe I do because I have bought so many Shang-Chi figures. So there is definitely a chance that I do. Skin tone would be great, but I mean, I am planning on prepping this guy properly, so it doesn't. I'm going to do these. I think these look good. I like these. And then just to stick with the same green, I'll just do his fists in the same one. So there we go. There's his hands. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I keep all my little joints and stuff separately so I don't have to go looking for such tiny pieces. Excellent. Kettle has boiled. Let's start creating. Now what I'll do in the next couple of days, I'll post a picture of all the pieces I kind of pieced together tonight so you guys can see them all lined up. Okay, I got my Troy and Abed mug. Anonymous dude says, I'm with you too. I'm assuming you meant that about one of the heads, but I don't know. Anonymous dude says, Charlie Zimmel, very promising. Could be the start of something big. He's referring to starting lineup. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with them, honestly. Like I don't know if it's something I necessarily need a lot of, but I'll definitely buy one to at least toy around with it. You know, see what they're all about. So let's all right. Let's pour a little of this in. So we got some hot water getting poured in here. This guy, I'll just put the belt on. This guy, I need to take the belt off. And take this belt off this old jean that's broken. This Gambit's going to have a bunch of stuff. This Jubilee's going to have a bunch. So we'll do the easy shit first. I guess this one's not that easy. For Chamber, I have to cut the shoulders out, which I did a few weeks ago, I think. Where did I put my... Here it is. Just get rid of those. I'm going to look for one of those throwing hands with the stars from Bullseye. I'm going to see if anybody I know has one of those kicking around their fodder bins. I should make a list of all the stuff I need to find. I need to find that retro Loki head. I think I have a few friends who have bought that Loki for fodder, so I need to find a Bullseye throwing hand. And I think that's it for now. There's going to be more. That's okay. Anonymous dude says that screen face is wild. Yeah, it works so good. I've only got to use it once. I can't remember what I used it for, but I think I just used the mouth. I don't even think I used the whole figure. The whole head, I mean. Morning Post says you have so much fodder. I'm so jealous. Yeah, man, that's what 8 years of doing this will do. Okay, so I'm going to start by just swapping some parts here. So I just put them in hot water, and these legs just pop right out when they're that hot. I also need, where did... Oh, I was going to take one of these belts and put it on. Okay, we'll put those back so that way they don't soften up too much. And this jacket can come off. I may swap out these lower arms, but for now I'm going to leave them, but I may swap them out eventually. I don't know if I love this design for Chamber, but I mean, it does work. So, and they look good, so I'll probably just leave them. Why overcomplicate it? You know? That's going to be there. So we'll wait for that. Let's get this Iceman in here so I can get this belt off of him. And I need I use these pliers because they're long and needly to pull stuff out. Do Jubilee next. So put her shit already here. Okay, so this is for chamber. This might be needing to be a bit warmer. Nope, not yet. The problem with doing the hot water in a cup method is the water is, there's only so much water and it doesn't stay hot for long enough. So you kind of have to replenish over and over and over again. But that's okay. Just let that sit for a minute. Chamber, this is going to be chamber bag. And I'm going to put his extra hands in there. I'm going to put the head in there. Let's see. Oh, yeah. See, this isn't even coming off. It's literally just been in there for like a second. Or been in there for a minute, but barely move in here. Just clear this off. I need to use this to grab a good hold. And all right. I usually pull one leg off when I'm trying to remove these belts. This soft plastic's really resilient too, so you can just kind of fucking give her. It's not that big a deal. There we go. Go back on. There we go. Okay, Iceman, back in the fodder you go. Thanks. Oops. Okay, so we're going to put that back in. We're going to put this Mockingbird in so I can take those knees off. Yeah, this needs to be hotter. I can already just put my hands in it. Okay, so what I have put aside here is just a container so I don't have to keep running to the sink. We're just going to replenish. I'm going to put as much stuff in as I can to try to get a head start here on some of this. What is the chat saying here? You guys saying anything? Anonymous dude, what are you enjoying about She-Hulk personally at this point? I like how funny it is. I actually find myself chuckling every week. Yeah, I'm really liking She-Hulk. I can understand why people are disappointed with it. I think there's a lot of people who just assume that MCU movies need to be action, and I realize that, you know, comparing this to something like Endgame, it's not really that exciting just being in a law thing every week. But I like it. I like the change of pace. I think the thing that where it's winning for me is it's introducing piece components of the MCU that are already there and giving us more history. And I think it's funny. Like I find myself laughing every week. I think it's really funny. So that's what I think She-Hulk's how it's winning for me personally. Morning Wolf. I literally throw my figures in boiling pots of water to take them apart. Yeah, I've done that a few times and just had issues with melting. So now I switch over to steam baths and I've had a lot of success there. So I just basically take a pot of boiling water, I put a strainer on top, and then I put it in the strainer so it's not directly in the water. So, hot tub toy machine. Charlie says, I got to get my ass to bed. I'm glad I could pop in and we'll be back next week. That's sweet, man. That's awesome. I'm glad. Take care of yourself, man. You know, like I said before, take care of yourself. It's really important that you're doing that. So, The nice thing about this shriek body is these legs come off at the upper thigh, which is nice, and you don't even need heat. You just rotate them 360, and when they get to this point, you just pop them off. It's pretty nice. Have a good night, Charlie. Thanks again for stopping by. Okay. Okay, so we got some legs here from Mockingbird. Mock. Yeah. Ing. Yeah. Okay, we're going to pop those pins out. So from the outside of the leg in is how you do this. The smaller head of the pin is on the outside. The bigger head's on the inside. So you just take your nail set and just pop those through. That comes out. There we go. Because this is pinless, I'm going to have to cut these out. So we're going to put these in as well. Let's see if I can get one of those belts. Okay. This could also just not work because this is meant for a Sunfire body and I'm trying to stretch it onto a Bucky Cat body. But I'm pretty determined to make this work. So we're going to make it work. Come on. Come on. You know you want to move on me, so move, baby. Nope. Back in the water you go. Thank you. Bye-bye. What else we got? Rogue arm. Pull those out. And that was what arm? That is this side. I may have to thin out these pegs. They're a little thick for this body. Oh, no, it works. Not perfectly, but it does work. And I'm probably going to have to replace this water again in a minute here. Cool. That's good. This is a right arm. So that would go there. Is the left arm. Oh, this will go on skin at this point. Oh, shit. There we go. Jubilee upper body there is done. I will have to hollow out some of those where the... I'm going to probably need to put this in hotter water. Come on, let's at least get one on here. Come on, come on. Ooh, hot, hot, hot. Ooh, hot, hot, hot. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Whew, that stretched that out. That's what she said. Okay, good. That's good. That's gone. Still have to get the... We can put these back on. These can go on now. It's very rare that I use a Bucky Cat body, but here it makes sense, so I'm going to do it. As you can see, this is loose. I'll have to probably fix that when I get to that point. It's a problem for another day. Okay. Let us cut some of these cut some of these knees out and see if we can replace them with Mockingbird. So when I cut these pinless joints out, like I said last week, guys, I always cut on one specific side. I always cut on the inside. So this is a sharp hobby knife, or mostly sharp. And that just pops right off. Those pegs are bigger than what I have here, so I will have to do some modification to make these fit. But that's okay. I can deal with that when the time comes. Right now is not that time. So I'm just going to put this back together. But it's good to see that, so you guys can see what I'm seeing. See the hole, the difference between this hole here and this hole here. So in order for that to work, I need that hole to be as big as this hole, which might be a little bit challenging because there's not that much disc on that. But in the meanwhile, we'll just pop this back together. Oops, come on. There we go. And we will put this back on her. We're going to take that torso off, the upper torso. And this can go on here for now. I'm not sure if this wood head I'm going to use here. This Jubilee head might work, but just wanted to do something a little bit different. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Wait until that gets a bit thicker here. I'm going to pull this guy out. Oh, I'm going to have to cut these too. What are you guys saying here? Alex says, don't forget the penis. Okay. Thanks for contributing. Anonymous dude says, what do you think of this phase of Marvel is underrated? Many people don't appreciate it fully. I feel it's in its transitional phase, introducing new stars, and it will pay off. Yeah, you know, I definitely don't think that this phase is the most compelling so far, but I am exactly where you are. I agree with what you're saying. I think it's transitional. I think they're taking their time to lay the groundwork like they always do. I don't think that's that weird at this point. You know, I do wish there was a bit more continuity between everything, but I'm content. I'm fine with it. Like, it doesn't bother me really. Like, it's, yeah, I don't know. It's not like I don't like it. I like it. It's just like, you know, how do you compete with what you just did? You know, how do you compete with Endgame? How do you compete with, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that easy to compete with those great phase 3 movies, right? And now we're here at phase 4, and they're trying to find their footing. They're trying to introduce new storylines and what we're going to be dealing with, you know, coming soon. And yeah, I kind of felt like once they started doing so much product, like, you know, looking at all the stuff we get in phase 4, like phase 4 runtime wise versus the other phases, like I think all 3 of the other phases combined are not even close to matching what the content level of phase 4 is from a time standpoint. And I think having people have to commit that heavily to a phase is going to get a lot of the people who are not fanboys are going to bail at that point, because they're like, I don't have time to commit to the MCU every fucking week in order to stay in the loop. You know, like I know a lot of people who watched WandaVision and were like, yeah, I have no fucking idea what's going on. Or not WandaVision, Doctor Strange, and there's a lot of gaps in Wanda's story because they didn't follow WandaVision or they didn't see WandaVision. Right? So, I don't know. Do I think it's as good? I don't think it's as good as phase 3 for sure, or phase 2, maybe phase 1. But again, I'm not really worried, if I'm really being honest. Like, it's not concerning to me in any sense. Go on. I have to heat that up again. Glug glug. Oh, I need this Gene belt too. Here you go, Gene. Thanks for coming out. I'm gonna roll that hot water again. Yeah. What do you guys think? I mean, I still like it. I'm always gonna like the MCU. I'm always gonna like Star Wars. It's we're getting what I've wanted for so long as a nerd fan, and it's like, yeah, it's not all perfect, but I think it's still good. I think it's still compelling, and I think no matter how you slice it, what they've done with the MCU is pretty fucking impressive. So, Morning Wolf says, "Are you planning on painting the figure with the belts on them?" Most likely will have to, yeah, unfortunately. But maybe not, because both of these things look like they don't fit very well. So, like, there's quite a bit of room on this guy. There's quite a bit of room on this guy. So if I end up having to cut them, I won't. I'll probably cut them, glue them on in the back, and then clean up the seam line and paint over it or something. But okay, so we're gonna get fresh water so I can cut out the shoulders and transfer them from this buck to this one. Hopefully they're compatible. I think they are, but I don't know for sure. Okay, and then we'll get some fresh water up in this piece. There we go. Cool. That's good. Even if I have to sculpt the knees on this one, I'm not that concerned about it. If I can't get those Mockingbird ones to work, but I'm gonna try to get the Mockingbirds because then it at least gives me a starting point. Okay, there's my Jubilee base. Nice. And versus the non-shriek body, she'll be shorter than like my husk and whatever head I decide to use here. I'm not sure which head yet, but Jubilee. Okay. Jubes, you stay there. Oh shit, I didn't put her belt on. God damn it. Hey, I'm gonna get fresh water. This is too warm. Too cool. Let's put this in. Let's cut these out. Let's cut these out. Oh. I guess we're going to see how those stickers do in water, huh? This is now extra. I don't need those anymore. These are now extra. I don't need those anymore. Let's just clean that up a little bit. So skin's pretty much good. That's about all I can do with him tonight. I still have to figure out the shoulder pads, but I'm not going to sweat it until I get a bit closer. So skin, good. Good to go. We'll let those chill for a second here. Anonymous dude says, understandable. It's like they just finished WrestleMania or the Super Bowl. They have to build up again to the next super event. Yeah, I agree. I'm not concerned. Like, let's put it that way. I'm not concerned. I think that no matter what, what they're gonna do is gonna be good, and I'm not concerned. So, intro of the X-Men will be so great. Yeah, I feel like that is gonna be the one thing where it will test my commitment to the MCU, because the biggest thing with the MCU is they play with characters that I don't really care about. Like, I love Captain America, but I love Captain America from the MCU. I was never a Cap fan from the comics. Same with Iron Man. Like, really, the only character they've played with that I am truly a humongous fan of is Spider-Man, really. And I feel like they've done a really good job with Tom Holland Spider-Man. So, yeah. So, I mean, it's good. But, when I look at things like Venom, I'm a huge fan of. comic book wise, but like I fucking hate those Sony movies. I hate them. They're so not Venom. So yeah. Marcus Yu says, I'm not sure what the end of Phase 4 is, but it's pretty diverse. Each story has a different tone, direction, like She-Hulk and her antics exist in the same continuity as Wanda killing innocent heroes. Yeah, that's a really great point. And the end of Phase 4 is actually She-Hulk, I believe. Or Black Panther, I think, maybe. One or the other. So yeah, Phase 4 is huge. Morning Wolf says, interesting. I hadn't even considered that possible. I'm curious to see how you would do that. If you're talking about the belts, yeah, all you would do is you wouldn't actually glue them back together. You would glue them onto the figure. So I would cut it at the back here, cut out a section that I can make it fit a bit snugger, and then glue it. I mean, I would try to glue it back together, but in doing so, I would ultimately glue it to the body. So, but yeah. All right, we're almost finished here, guys. Okay, let's quickly just take care of this Jubilee thing. Hot. I'm just gonna pull these arms off. This Jubilee's broken, so her one leg is glued in place. That's gonna go away. And this Jubilee needs a belt, so I'll have to put that back on. Unless this can stretch it. I mean, it can stretch. Morning Wolf, did you sculpt your belts, or are you using an existing belt from somewhere? I can't. It looks kind of like one of these Jean Grey ones, but I'm trying to think of what male figure had that. I don't think any did. I'm not going to try to stretch that. I'm just going to take the torso off. Okay, let's cut these arms out. Okay, so I'm going to cut these shoulders out. So we're going to do the back side. So just like that. I can actually look and see on this X-Man body how big these. So the pegs won't fit in there. Shit. Okay. That's okay, because that's easy enough to fix. I won't be able to attach it tonight, but I'll at least be able to. Come off, come off, come off. There you go. So let's do this. Chamber needs his jacket. I definitely like this jacket for him. It doesn't fit as snugly as I would like it to, though. And I know this isn't going to fit because that post is way too big. But just so I can get a feel for what I'm dealing with here. Cool, cool. So yeah, this jacket actually doesn't fit that snug, that nicely on. What about? There's another jacket that I thought was a good fit. Cannonball, was it? I think Cannonball was the one I was originally going to use. So, does that fit nicer on this body? Yes, it does. That's what I'm using then. Okay. And again, I know that this isn't going to go on, but I'm just playing devil's advocate. Just lobbing it on there for the time being. Cool. It's not perfect, but you know, gives you a ballpark idea of what I'm looking at proportions wise. And I'll have to find some flame bits and shit for him too. But yeah, that's going to be chamber. Woo! I'm going to take this belt off while it's still soft here too. There you go. Just so I don't have to deal with it when I need it. Okay, good. Let's take this off really quick. Pop that off. Pop this on. Cool. There you go. Jubilee. Chamber. Skin. Fucking A. Let's get this gambit going here and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. Okay, last one. We're going to start with a fresh batch of water here. Cool. This guy needs to swap out the lower arms with these. Possibly swap the feet, maybe the boots. But maybe not. Cool. Okay. Let's start with those. We'll put all of this shit in. Let's make it a big old party. Morning Wolf says, interesting. I hadn't even considered that possible. I'm curious to see how you do that. Yeah, I'll show you when I get there. I've done it before, but sometimes I just don't want to ruin a nice paint job by trying to get a belt that fits super snug to go back on. So, Morning Wolf says, yeah, they're sculpted with Procreate. Yeah, okay, I thought so. Anonymous Dude says, the switching of mediums is incredible when you think about it. TV to movies, I feel history will be really kind to the MCU and their impact on continuity and entertainment. I agree with you 100%. I think that it's so easy to bash them for a couple movies that are not as good as Endgame, but I think when you look at anybody who's tried to recreate what they have done, no one has been successful like they have. Nobody, not a single person. So, yeah. Anonymous Dude says, customizing is a far underrated art form in my mind. There's genius and immense creativity in what you guys are doing. Yeah, thanks. I agree, but I treat it just like any other art. I think it's some people just have an eye for it, and you know, some people it comes more naturally, and yeah. Marcus says, watching this kit bashing process is therapeutic as heck. That's great. I'm glad. And Anonymous Dude says, what is your inspiration for inspiring your imagination this week, your creativity, or just giving you good vibes in art, geek culture, or in general, if you'd like? Well, last week, in my real life job, for anybody who follows me on Instagram, I posted the story of me, some of the donuts that I've been working on. In my real life job, we were opening a donut shop in one of our stores, and it was really fun to get back and do that. It's been a minute since I've done it, so it was super fun and inspiring. And actually, to be honest with you, I finished my shelves, my display shelves. I have one more shelf I have to touch up, but I'm waiting for my Toei Spider-Man and my some of my What If wave before I do it. But yeah, I'm excited to those have kind of motivated me to like get back to customizing. And now like I said, I've been working on 2 figures at once, which has been nice and fun. 3 figures at once, I guess technically. But I haven't really done anything on Havoc since I left him like a couple weeks ago. I think I've done like a session or something or two maybe, but I'm really liking the figure I'm doing for my buddy. I can't say what it is, even though he doesn't watch this. I don't, just in case it somehow slips out. I'd love it to be a surprise. I'd hate to get this far and then it ruin the surprise. There we go. So those Bucky Cap lower arms fit onto this retro Spidey fucking perfectly, which is great. So there we go, guys. There's some new lower arms for my AOA Gambit. I'm going to put these back in here. Mm-hmm. There we go. Get rid of those. What else were we going to do? We were going to potentially take these lower legs off. Oh, shit. I guess we can just pop those off. Let's play with these. I may just swap out these feet, but we'll see. But yeah, in terms of inspiring imagination, yeah, I would say the donuts and the collection being finished finally, or the displays, is really kick-started me to really get back into moving on customs. I have a big list of stuff I still want to finish this year, and yeah, I'd love to be able to get to all that shit. So we'll see. Marcus E says, donuts. And Stu says, oh my gosh, I thought you said you're a baker. Baked goods, that can be a future podcast combo. Tim Hortons. Yeah, I'm not a baker by trade, but so my actual job is I'm a bakery category manager. What that basically is I work for 2 chains of grocery stores out in British Columbia. IGA, which you guys have in Ontario, but it's owned by a different company than me. And Fresh Street Market, which is kind of like where the donuts are. It's like the more exciting stuff that's happening. And I oversee 30 stores bakery operations. So bakery managers report to me. I pick what's on sale. I pick the items we sell in our stores. So I get to try a lot of baked goods. It's like my job to eat baked goods, which is a weird thing to say. But yeah. It's a pretty sick gig, I won't lie. So I really like my job a lot. I'm very, very fortunate to have my job, and yeah, it's a dope fucking gig, man. I'm pretty lucky. Okay, so this is one option. I could just do the boot, but I'm gonna just swap this out and see how it takes. Oh, I forgot I dremelled this out. I'd have to fix that. I think I'm gonna just sculpt my own. I think I'm gonna go without these boots, but I do like these boot instead of like the Spider-Man style feet, so I will go with those. There we go. Very cool. And then those can just go back on Mr. Gambit. Tomorrow I'm going to probably just Dremel everything so they all fit together, and then I can take a picture of everything that is there. Cool. Gambit. Same with this. I'll have to tighten this up. I'll probably have to glue it in place and cut it and whatever. But yeah, I like that Gambit on that retro Spidey body. I get a bit more articulation. It's pretty cool. Okay, guys, I think that's all. So I didn't get to Warbird tonight. I didn't get to Age of Apocalypse Quicksilver, and I didn't get to working those Cyclops legs into place. So I'm going to work on some more of this after I watch She-Hulk and Rogue One. Let's flip the camera here. And I'll take some pictures and post it on Instagram on Friday. So Marcus, Morning Wolf says, I'm off to bed. Your Gen X is coming together nicely. I hope to make some progress on Mondo tomorrow. Have a good night, buddy. Hey, man, you too. Thank you for stopping by. I know it's late there. If anybody's not following Morning Wolf, you should be. His Gen X customs are sick. Today he posted in his stories the base he's using for his Mondo. So check it out. Pretty dope. Marcus Yee says, what do you do when the socket for the foot is a little too wide for the peg on the ankle? So there's a couple things you can do. You can use super glue, not super glue. I mean, you can use super glue. I use hot glue and Vaseline. So what you do is you put a little bit of hot glue in the socket, then you coat the peg with Vaseline, push it in and run it under cold water, and then before you move it, let it kind of set, and then the Vaseline stops it from sticking and you can just rotate it. Alternatively, you can buy this stuff, which I really like. A little bit lasts forever. It's called thermo wax, and it's these beads that you can melt, and basically like they harden once they cool. And you can make sockets, you can do like sword sheaths, you can do lots of cool stuff. So yeah, I use this too. And you just put it in hot water and it becomes pliable, and then yeah, it stiffens up. It's good. Anonymous Dude says, solid work. Please enjoy She-Hulk and Andor. Thanks, man. Thank you guys all for being here. As always, I really appreciate all of you guys for hanging out with me, shooting the shit, and just keeping this going. So, Marcus E says, oh, I've heard of that thermoplastic wax pellets. Good stuff. Yeah, I recommend it. It works really well. But I mean, if you have something that's really small and snug, like say a hand peg, for example, you can do the like baking soda super glue trick where you like thicken a peg with baking soda and super glue. It kind of goes into like almost like a cement, and it's like really easy to sand, so you can like get it to the size you want. Or alternatively, like I used a couple weeks ago, you can just use that Bondic pen, and I've used that to thicken up pegs as well. If you're looking for something that's more interchangeable though, that's not going to be permanent, like, you know, if you don't have alternate hands though, that Bondic pen works, but sometimes it'll come off if you swap them out a lot. So might be better to try the glue or the thermo wax for that. So, but yeah, it works good. Thank you guys. Quebec Diorama, peace, man. Thank you guys for always being here. Again, hit that like. And next week, I think next week I'm going to shift back over to Shelf Shuffle for one more week, and I think I am going to go over my entire collection live and do it shelf by shelf and just walk through, talk about the customs, talk about the little accessories and any add-ons and stuff that I have. But I think I'm going to do that next week. So keep an eye on my page on my Instagram stories on Tuesday, and that's usually when I dictate what I'll be doing. So there's a chance I will be doing customizing, but if I can finish that last shelf this week, which I'm hopeful I can, I'm just waiting for stuff to come in, but I think it should be almost here. So when it comes in, I'll make it a priority. I'll get it finished, and then I'm hopeful that we can do a collection tour next week. So, but yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for everything. You guys are seriously the best. You make me feel so good. Sounded gross and creepy and weird. Peace, motherfuckers. Thanks, guys.